And what's up, everybody? It's Jeremiah, and this is,
Ashley.
and we're here. We're your hosts this evening for the Hill Shadows podcast, and as promised, here we are. This video, we got a little setup going on. We're doing the best we can right now, and if you guys want to do us a huge favor right here at the beginning of the video, if you don't care, please hit the like button if you like the video, because it really does a lot to help us out, and it helps the algorithm, it helps other people find our videos and stuff. So we really appreciate that. Also, we share stories of the strange and supernatural, so if you like that kind of thing, please hit the subscribe button. And yeah, that's the kind of thing we do. We got a lot for you guys tonight, and
A lot?
we got a little.
I wouldn't say a lot.
I got a
but
couple stories.
Okay.
I got some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
You've
you
got
have.
some pretty interesting things I didn't know about, so I'm excited.
I mean,
to hear
most
about
people
those.
know about it. I just find it fascinating. And maybe maybe there's someone out there that hasn't heard of it. And,
Right, yeah, I definitely hadn't heard about yours. But yeah, you were absent last week. You want to explain your absence while you were absent?
I don't have a good reason.
You rarely do, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, what can I say? I don't.
Let's see, what's been going on in the news this week? Kanye West, he's been in the news a lot, right?
I suppose.
A lot of people have been talking about him. I think he does this stuff just to be talked about, though.
I mean, publicity is publicity, right?
Publicity
Whether it's
is indeed publicity.
negative.
And I mean, him making remarks like the remarks he made, I'm not going to say anything about what he said, but it draws attention. It draws a lot of attention. And I think the difference in the society we live in now is, there's always people watching you. Like what you like,
Yeah.
people that wouldn't normally be watching you are watching people.
I don't know that I
all the
know
time,
what
so.
happened, honestly.
He was on the Drink Champs podcast.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Where Noriega is the host, and he made some very bad remarks, untrue remarks
What was it
about George Floyd, also about Jewish people.
Yeah.
There was a lot, I think, about Jewish people, and just to make it clear right here, right now, I am not racist in any way. I think all people are created equal. So yeah, it's all silly stuff. But
It's not silly to some people.
It's not silly.
It's not silly.
It's very bad, and I hate to see anybody talking hateful. I think it comes from a place of ignorance and hatred. It comes from a dark place, and we're very light and spiritual people. So we're all about keeping the good vibes and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope you guys have had a good week. I've had a pretty good week, I gotta say. The beginning of the week started off kind of stressful for me, but I feel all right now. Now that it's the weekend, get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow. I always say that every time we have the podcast, because
We do it on a weekend.
we do it on a Friday night,
Yeah.
and we usually get up at like 10 till 6 through the week for the kids' school and all that stuff. So yeah, we haven't really done a lot when it comes to the paranormal stuff. We haven't really been a lot going on around here.
No,
Like
it's been pretty quiet.
That's been quiet.
We watched a documentary. Well, I did anyways. I
About
think it was
the
something
black
on
triangles. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know
it was
we
on
haven't
history.
we haven't shared our story on video.
Okay.
I know that for sure.
Not on video.
Also, make sure you're looking.
Oh.
You're doing good.
Sorry.
You're doing real good. I've done this a few times. She does not like being on camera.
Nope.
Like, if I would have let her get to where she was satisfied with how she looks this evening,
Why are you talking about
it would never have been done. Because it's
Why would you
hilarious
say
to me.
that?
It's funny. It's funny.
It's not funny.
It's funny. It's kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny. Anyway, it's almost Halloween. It's getting close. You got a birthday coming up.
Oh, another thing. Why would you? Let's not talk about that either.
Man, happy birthday.
Thank
the people
you.
probably want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
I definitely, in front of everybody, would like to say happy birthday to you.
Thanks, baby.
You're welcome. Yeah, I hope you have a good one. And then after your birthday, we got Halloween coming up.
Yeah, my favorite.
Probably the best holiday for people who like the paranormal and things like that.
Scarefest is coming up.
When
is that actually? Let's see.
Man, we should go to that and document it.
That would
sick.
be a lot of fun.
But yeah, the Black Triangle.
Do I have the right phone?
That was an awesome documentary. And
it is. I absolutely love to hear other people tell their stories of what they saw because it validates
right.
what we saw. It just feels good.
For me, it's like I know that what they're saying is true. Like, I want to have that same know when it comes to Bigfoot. And I don't.
That is something that makes me feel like
I don't have it yet.
It's true. What people seeing Bigfoot,
right.
like it's real. How can you discount what they're saying when there are people that could hear what we saw and be like, they're crazy. But I know what I saw.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean,
it
validates a lot of things for me.
Yeah, like before I seen the Black Triangle.
What was I looking at?
Like, I don't know. I believe
Scarefest.
I believed in that kind of phenomenon, but I'd never seen it. But so, my views still changed a little bit after I seen it. I want to have that same experience with Bigfoot.
You need to have that experience with like a lot of things because you haven't had it for paranormal.
I have not seen
October 21st at 8 a.m.
Like ghosts or
Oktoberfest
spiritual. I haven't seen any kind of shadow people but I want to. If any of you guys are out there watching, I want to see you at some point. Not anything negative. Not anything negative. No, not at all. Anyway.
You were.
I got a story about a possible skinwalker experience. And this one, as always, I find stories, for the most part, off Reddit, because there's a lot of good stuff on there. And I try to find ones that are actually interesting and sound like they could very well be true,
Yeah.
And this one doesn't come out of Kentucky. This one comes out of Joshua Tree, California. And it comes from, let's see what this user's name is. It's Bright Moment 6459. This was actually only posted 21 hours ago, so this is fresh off the press, guys. So I'll just read it to you guys. This is off Reddit, and it's under the subreddit Skinwalkers. I went to JT a few days ago in an Airbnb with 3 of my friends. The house was a nice size and had to be accessed by an unpaved dirt road. The closest house to us was maybe a mile away. All houses in this area have private driveways too. On one of our drives back from getting groceries, I had saw an animal run away from our headlights super fast, but I couldn't make it out. I assumed it was like a deer or something because of how big it was. But all I had seen in the desert were quails, no big animals. That night I had a dream that my friends and I were searching for something, and we were taken to a basement full of things, and there was a small house with a red door. We went inside, but I don't remember what was there. This may or may not have anything to do with my experience, but I'll read here that dreams do have correlation. On one of the nights of our stay, we had a bonfire and did some stargazing. I had to pee at one point, so I went inside and was gone for maybe 5 minutes. My friend and I came back to my 2 other friends weren't sitting by the fire. I just sit and waited a couple minutes for them to come back, but ended up going inside to check for them, but they weren't there. We go back out and start calling for them and get no response. Instead, we hear coughing close by the right side of the house where the pool was. We immediately knew it was our friend because they had been kind of reserved. Our first instinct was to find them and help. At some point of the trip, we had gotten concerned if they were sick or something, but they ended up feeling a lot better. We started to go looking for them by the pool, and we call again. In response, we just hear the same exact cough. Same pitch. It was the same cough maybe 4 or 5 times. We thought our friend was throwing up or maybe smoking. Usually when we call for them, they'd answer immediately, except for this time, it was just more coughing. The last time we called, they had finally answered and started coming around from the opposite side of the house, and the sounds of them walking and talking came from the left side of the house, just seconds after we heard the coughing on the right side, and they were completely oblivious to everything that was happening. They had no idea about the coughing and didn't even hear us calling until they got closer to the house. As soon as I realized the coughing was a lure for us, it confirmed that something had been keeping an eye on us. Based off what I've read, I'm very sure I had a skinwalker experience. I'll answer any questions. I also need to know if I should get cleansed. And there's an edit. This can't be chalked up to hearing things because of weed. I can verify that. We all have high tolerances, and weed doesn't make you hear things. It does not. We were both very aware, and I was probably the most sober. It was very quiet, too. We had just turned off the music before we were talking. We ended up smoking later that night, and the friend we thought we heard coughing has such a soft cough you can barely hear it. The pitch of the coughing we heard specifically sounded like our friend, but as if something was stuck in their throat or throwing up. So this is not uncommon. A lot of this is mimicking, and this is something that they're known to do. And we experienced this one night.
We did.
It was very creepy. We were standing out on the back porch. It was, what time do you think it was? Probably
11:30. So it was a little bit before
Weird
midnight.
stuff usually happens that time. We see stuff in the sky all the time. But anyway, what was it you did? You clicked or something?
And I was making like several different little noises, like just with my mouth, weird noises. And I did something like
the exact pitch, tone, volume level. I mean, I'm a sound guy. I have a degree in audio engineering, and this was. It was a match.
We have like
it was crazy.
So we use like our back door to come and go, and we have like a smaller deck, and then we also have like sliding glass doors that have a deck to that, and they're like right next to each other. But there's about a 12-foot gap in between the two decks.
Right.
And the sound, we're standing on the smaller deck, and the sound comes from like right beside the big deck, like.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And I mean, that deck's fairly long. I don't know how long that deck is. Close to what?
There's
like
some strange things out there, people. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that the government doesn't tell us.
That scared the shit out of me when that happened.
Excuse my language. There are crawlers out there, people. There are skinwalkers out there. There's Bigfoot out there. There's dogmen out there.
Maybe.
All that stuff is out there. Honest to God, I believe it.
I want to believe it.
I think they're all in very small populations. I think the chances of you running into one, you probably have a better shot of hitting the lottery. Honest to God. But I think they're out there. And I don't know if they're out there all the time, or it's some kind of like
a portal or a dimension
some type
between
of place
two.
Where the veil is thinner, and maybe that's when people can see these things. But they're out there, and you got to be aware of it, and you got to know about it.
That kind of makes me think about the story that I was going to talk about, like just saying the.
Well, I got one more, but I'd love to go ahead and hear yours. We can.
Only because of what you just said about like.
Right. Yeah. If it's
being able to come and go. Yeah. So. Let me pull this up. I'm just going to read from Wikipedia.
It's very interesting.
A lot of people have probably heard about it.
And I hadn't heard about it. And I researched quite a bit about the paranormal.
This isn't really... I don't know. I don't know if you would call it paranormal. I don't know. Anyways, it's the Green Children of Woolpit. So one day, at harvest time one day, during the rain... Is something wrong?
No, go.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'll start over. At harvest time one day during the reign of King Stephen, according to William Newburgh, the villagers of Woolpit discovered two children, a brother and sister, beside one of the woolpits that gave the village its name. Their skin was green. They spoke an unknown language, and their clothing was unfamiliar. Ralph of Coggeshall, I don't know, I'm sorry how to exactly pronounce that, but reports that the children were taken to the home of Richard de Cown. sorry, Ralph
Mm-hmm.
and William agree that the pair refused all food for several days until they came across some raw broad beans, which they consumed eagerly. The children gradually adapted to normal food and in time lost their green color. It was decided to baptize the children, but the boy, who appeared to be younger of the two, was sickly and died before or soon after the baptism. After learning to speak English, the children, Ralph says, just the surviving girl, explained that they came from a land where the sun never shone and the light was like twilight. William says the children called their home St. Martin's Land.
Wow.
Ralph adds that everything there was green. So this is like what the girl was saying, right? That everything there was green. According to William, the children were unable to account for their arrival in Woolpit. They had been herding their father's cattle when they heard a loud noise. According to William, it was like the sound of the bells of the Bury St. Edmund's Abbey, and suddenly found themselves by the wolf pit, where they were found. Ralph says that they had become lost when they followed the cattle into a cave, and after being guided by the sound of bells, eventually emerged into our land. According to Ralph, the girl was employed for many years as a servant in Richard de Calnes's household, where she was considered to be very wanton and impudent. William says that she eventually married a man from Kingsland, about 40 miles from Woolpit, where she was still living shortly before he wrote. Based on his research into Richard de Count family history, the astronomer and writer Duncan Lunan has concluded that the girl was given the name Agnes and that she married a royal officer named Richard Barr. So, some people say that this was just a story, just completely fictional and made up, but
Right.
I don't know. I find it to be
It sounds interesting.
quite fascinating.
Like, especially the place where they come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a land of the lost type
Mhm.
thing, right?
Yeah, it's
Like
always
even the
green.
cave
Everything's
thing,
green.
Like they go
Right.
in a cave and they end up in another place.
Yeah, but wherever they were at before the cave
Was beautiful, clearly.
but there was no sun. They said it was always like twilight.
That sounds pretty killer,
Mhm.
man. Because for some reason, I always feel like I'm more alive at night. I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a vampire, but I've got vampire tendencies.
Maybe you are a vampire.
I could
Some
easily
people believe
get back
that those
in the
are,
rhythm of
you know.
staying up on it. Yeah, I mean,
That's
there
interesting,
have been,
too.
There
Yeah.
were recently some
Graves?
graves discovered, and skeleton of the people in the graves had like skies. Is that right? Is that how you say it?
I don't
Skies?
know. What is that?
The little Grim Reaper things. They were
Oh, like a
pinned
Sith
around
or
their-
a Sith?
yeah, like
Or a sickle?
they couldn't get up. Like even in the coffin buried, like they still had a little thing, like their feet were chained and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I know
apparently
there's
they
some
were
that-
thinking these vampires,
Right.
if they were vampires, they were gonna get up out of the coffin, so they put little things on their necks so if they got
I've heard
up,
about there being like almost like
decapitate
cage
them,
type. I don't know what you call them, but basically like a cage thing over top of the graves,
Mm-hmm.
and then like found with like stakes through the chest where the
Yeah.
heart would be.
Yeah, there was a thing over in
Why?
England in a period
why?
of time.
Was that really a thing? That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
I'll
I think that would be
actually-
awesome.
Let me.
Unpopular opinion here, but I love Twilight. I don't know if we've said this before, but I love the movies.
She does love the movies. There's no doubt about it. That's
It's
crazy.
funny to say out loud, honestly, but I do. I like them.
She's crazy. I'm gonna see if I can find this about vampires.
Okay. I also want to see if there's any more, like, more about these children.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I think so. There's
I
not
honestly,
much.
I mean,
what is the man
I
in the
believe,
moon?
I believe in portals. I think portals are a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of portals, I watched something. I don't remember where I watched it.
Because my computer's being a dick. So.
Were you watching this with me? These two men were actually out looking for Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Have I talked
watched
about
it.
this on here before? And like,
I mean,
I think I have. They saw the light, and there was like, oh gosh, I can't remember what happened at this point. My memory is crap. But like, this light came and like it was moving like through the trees, and it came closer towards it. Like it came like right by them. They saw it, but like at one point, oh, something about like he could see into it. I can't remember all of it. I've got to find that story so I can like recount it again. It's really good. It's really good. We'll have to find it and talk about it one day. Awesome. But it was really good. Really good story.
And I'll definitely look more into the vampire thing for next week, and we'll kind of get into that.
Yeah, we can.
Also, I want to tell you guys this as well. I'm going to be doing a TikTok channel and maybe something else with the Hill Shadows thing. And once I get it going, I don't know exactly. I don't know if I'll be able to use the name Hill Shadows, but I'll try to make it Hill Shadows something. And I'll let you guys know what it is. I'll make shorter videos on, singular incidents, and it'll be a cool little thing, for people who don't have as much time to sit and watch the longer videos.
Right.
It'll also help us grow this channel a little bit, which will help us be able to increase the production value of our podcast,
Sure.
because if we could invest in some equipment, we could really do some awesome things with the podcast that I'd like to do. And, that's a goal we're going for, and we'll get there eventually. Mm-hmm. I got one more for us tonight before we get out of here.
Okay.
And, it's not really crazy in depth. It's not a long story, but it's interesting, and it sounds to me like a true encounter, because oftentimes there's not a whole lot to telling a true encounter, right?
Right.
Just you stopped, you seen the thing. It's usually gone in a couple seconds, and it's over. I mean, that's it. I mean, it feels like an eternity when it's happening.
Yeah.
But it's really just like that. That's why there's no footage of things, man. You're not ready for it when it happens. At
all. And then when you are, you're in such awe of like what is happening. And
I mean, as much as I believe in all this stuff, do you know how often I go around where things could be at? I don't have a camera or anything. Like, I do it all the time. And I wouldn't have any proof. It would just be my word to tell you guys. But a lot of times I do have one of these things on me, and I would get some.
It'll happen one day.
And I'm aiming to.
I hope so.
Anyway, I'll get on to this one. And this one is also on Reddit. And this one is posted by a user by the name of Distribution Top 6186. This one was posted 3 months ago, and it's under the subreddit Fleshgate. And this is a term that is new to me as of probably 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
I'm going to research it more. As I said, my computer's being a dick, so I don't want to even get into it right now. It might be something we cover next week if we can find enough information on it. And if you guys have anything you would like to suggest we cover in future videos, please let us know, and we will do that. Now, this one's called, I Don't Quite Know How to Explain This on a Scientific Basis.
Ooh.
Good title for it.
I think so.
And I feel that, So here we go. I have been experiencing strange occurrences at my home. I believe it's something aggressive and evil. I saw it once and it ran past my patio. I live in a rural area, so seeing animals is not a rare occurrence, and I know what species we have around my area in Alabama. It was so surreal, it felt as though time completely stopped. It was tall, very lanky, and pale.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't get a good look at the head because it ran on 2 legs super fast, but I did see the long black claws. I saw it during a full moon with small amounts of cloud cover, so the skin was quite visible from where I was sitting. I don't think it noticed me as I sat in the darkness in absolute silence. The forest behind my house went silent when I saw it, except for the leaves and sticks snapping and crackling. After that encounter, all I heard was chittering in the woods, but not like a cicada, frog, or grasshopper. They sounded like they came from several different places around the forest. I knew it was then time to go inside and not stay out past sunset alone. Apart from those two experiences, I have motion lights behind my house that seemingly go off at random with nothing present.
That sounds kind of similar too, doesn't it? Or
What?
not similar, sorry, familiar.
I was just out back and that happened
We saw
twice. I told
shining.
you I just seen a shadow out there after it set off.
Don't.
I hit my light on it and nothing was there.
Mm-mm.
And there were eyes shining. What?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Get ready
what?
to pray the blood of Jesus all over this place. No.
I'm about to go jump
sir.
on that thing's back and get footage of it.
What? On what though? I mean,
on its back.
Are you done with the story?
It's just about. Listen, I think this is close to the end, or the motion lights that seemingly go off at random. I would like to hear some opinions on this. It is beginning to become an incessant, near nightly occurrence. The closest thing I've heard of to what I saw is a flesh gate. I will provide an illustration along with this that I had found that closely resembles what I saw. Now, I may very well forget to take this image and show you guys. So what I'm going to do...
Oh, no. Nope.
...is I'm going to show you guys like this. Here you go. Get a good look at the flesh gate. Or, as I would call it, a crawler, right?
No, you gotta do the whole body. Pull back. Nope. That's terrible.
That's super sketch looking. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. I don't think so. What I do think is that that's a crawler. From all the research we've done from our past podcasts.
Right. I don't like the way that looks.
They say their skin looks like it's
Wait,
dolphin-like.
Fleshgate is like something from Creepypasta.
I've never heard of Fleshgate.
It's an atmospheric survival horror game. Fleshgate.
Really?
Yeah, Fleshgate is an atmospheric
survival horror game.
horror game.
Well, it's also a thing. Look up, see what else it is.
It's something from Creepypasta. Sometimes I do think that...
Look, what is a Fleshgate right here?
Okay, Reddit.
So they got Fleshgate sightings on Reddit. Also, guys, I will leave the links to any of these stories that I've shared in the description. So be sure to click that, and you can check them out for yourself, and share them yourselves. They're pretty cool stories. And have you found out yet what a Fleshgate is?
No, here's the deal. Like, I just like.
There's
I don't
all
get
kinds of
it's
people
not.
that
It won't.
are
It's not
asking.
like.
This
You know what I mean? It's not coming up.
Go back again and try something else. We're trying to figure it out.
Some TikToks of it.
See if you got a story here.
Okay.
It okay? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's actually a podcast or something. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that.
No. Okay.
Hey, we'll research it. We'll get back to you guys because I know we're running close to 30 minutes here, and I don't want to go too crazy long. It's the first time we've done a video.
Hold on.
You got something?
I might have something.
You got something?
Fleshgate. Ooh, look at this image.
Take it.
Show the image. Let me see if anybody can see this.
You can get it.
Oh, the light is there.
Get it just the top part.
See this? Sorry, I don't know. This way. Nope. I don't like that. Anywho, this is what it says. Fleshgates are shapeshifters similar to that of the skinwalkers of the Navajo folklore. However, unlike the skinwalkers, Fleshgates were never human. Fleshgates are known to mimic voices, mostly that of their victims' last words, as well as change into different animals and people to lure their victims into the forest where they would then be killed.
Wow. I almost followed that thing out there.
This is crazy.
If it wasn't for us coming in here to do this, I would have followed that thing. without a doubt, I would have went after it. See what it was. I wouldn't have gone like deep into the woods after it, but I would have went out there to get closer.
I mean, there were eyes looking back. I did see that.
That's why I
But
got
I
you to
assumed
come
it's a
over there,
cat.
because every time I would make noise, it would turn and look at me. It just looked like something was over there.
No.
And that was right after the light went off, and there was nothing over there.
Sensor.
Like a couple times. Yes. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't like that.
I'll be taking the camera out there with me, and if I see anything, I will record it and I will share it. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss anything. And we're going to be doing this every Friday. It's the same podcast. You can just see. You see us now.
Well, we need a better setup, and eventually that will happen.
Once we upgrade, we will have a camera on both of us and on you and me, and we'll be switching. But once you talk, it'll go on you.
Okay.
It's not going to take a lot, you know. Right. And like I said, you guys could help us a lot just by hitting the like button. It really does. It triggers the algorithm to recommend our videos to new viewers, and that helps us out a lot. And, you know, yeah, eventually we'll upgrade. And for now, we'll use what we got, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we bring to you. And if you have any recommendations, we'd love to hear from you guys. Or if you have any encounters you'd like to share with us, we'd love to share them right here on our podcast. You can send them to us at our email address, which is hillshadowsky@yahoo.com. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Man, that really, that's crazy it's crazy what I learned myself when I share these stories with you guys. Like the light thing.
Yeah, what, the motion sensor?
The motion sensor going off random, like
Bugs could do that.
They could, but something mimicked you out there, and I just seen a shadow out there, and you seen the eyes that I seen. I
did see something.
So I'm not crazy.
Something shining for sure.
And I was sitting there watching it for a minute, like probably for 2 or 3 minutes before I yelled at you.
Well, what stopped the like turning the light away from the eye shining was that sounded like a gate or something, like metal.
Right. Yes, weird.
That came from like a different direction, though.
You know what's odd is, you know how many times I've heard people talk about Bigfoot encounters or paranormal encounters, and they talk about hearing a loud metal sound?
Yeah.
What is that about?
But the dogs didn't react in any way, and I don't recall listening for like bugs. You know what I mean? Like crickets or anything like that.
No, I don't remember.
I don't recall that.
I'm getting ready to go back out there for a minute because it's a little after 11. So
we could go walk down the trail real quick and record it and see if anything shows up.
We could do that. I'll tell you what, I think we will do that. And if
that makes me nervous because I don't like going down there at night.
We will have it on this show tonight. And if we don't,
we could still just put the images walking down there, right? Or is that a little much? It doesn't matter. We'll see if anything happens.
If it's interesting enough to
you'll
put
see
on there and worth the time.
It'll be coming up in a minute.
I'll put it on there. It'll probably be coming up.
Yeah.
Well, here's my issue. Actually, yeah. Well, I'm down to like 2 cameras right now. It's really an SD card situation because I got a video mixing down right now that an SD card is being used for, so I can't put it in my 3rd camera that I normally use. But I can use this camera, so we can do that.
Yeah.
I can take this one. But yeah, you got anything else, man?
No.
I guess we'll let you guys get out of here. It's the weekend. I know you guys are busy. You know, life's going on. And enjoy the weekend, man. Make the most out of it. You never know what day's your last day here, you know. So make sure you live each day up to the fullest and make the most out of it. And enjoy it, because that work week comes around and really slaps the shit out of you. But don't let it get you down, and make sure you keep your dreams alive. Stay blessed. Stay cleansed. Stay away from that bad, evil stuff and keep it light and positive.
I'm gonna go take my Palo Santos outside all around the house in a minute. Bless it all.
There you go. That's right. We believe, we ourselves believe in Jesus and God, and we know He'll protect us. He always has, right?
Absolutely.
He's never failed.
Never let me down.
Failed. And that's who I'm going to continue to trust in. That's who I recommend you guys trust in, and especially if you're dealing with some of this evil stuff. So just be safe out there. And hopefully you enjoyed our first video podcast.
It seems a little bit dark.
Well, yeah, it is. We could be closer. It's not the brightest, and we could probably use another light. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt to have another
We'll get one.
But we're gonna upgrade. It's gonna get better with time, guys. Bear with us, and like I said, enjoy your weekend. Make sure you hit the like button if you liked it. It'll help us out a whole lot, and we'll see you guys next week. And I'll try to have some stuff for you before then too. Have a good one.
Bye.